Hi there, Dr. Brent Hulsebus here, chiropractor, and today we're doing another episode of Ask the Chiropractor. Ask the Chiropractor is our little podcasting that we do here, where when somebody has a question about chiropractic, I always recommend they ask a chiropractor, not somebody else, say like your family physician. And the reason I say that is because family physicians just don't get education about chiropractic like a chiropractor does, obviously. Just like a dentist is the one you would ask if you had a question about your teeth. You wouldn't ask your family doctor about a cavity or a dental issue. You'd ask a dentist. So people come on here and they email me questions and they send me text messages with a question that they'd like to see me answer. So today, being that this is the second week of September, Ask the Chiropractor is going to talk about how the whole chiropractic profession started. You see, chiropractic started September 18th, 1895 down in Davenport, Iowa, in the Ryan Building at 3rd and Brady. What had happened at the time, Dr. Palmer was a magnetic healer. And as a magnetic healer, Dr. Palmer was a guy that would grab a hold of you and pull the evil spirit, the evil negative energy out of you. See, at this time, when most people got sick, they would go to their church or their place of faith, and the leader of their place of faith would grab a hold of them and pull the negative sin out of them so they could heal. Magnetic healing was considered to be more scientific back then because it wasn't about sin and working with God. It was just about a guy grabbing a hold of you and pulling the negative energy out of you. I don't know. I wasn't around back in 1895. But Dr. Palmer had his business right there, and there was a janitor on the floor named Harvey Lillard. The story is Harvey had lost his hearing. He couldn't hear anymore. And he had gone in to see Dr. Palmer, and Dr. Palmer decided to take a look at him. And he felt a spot in his spine that was warm. Dr. Palmer noticed that spot wasn't moving, and Dr. Palmer tried to restore the proper motion at that spot by giving the first ever chiropractic adjustment. And in doing so, Harvey's hearing came back. Harvey reported being able to hear the hooves of the horses outside in the cobblestone roads again, having not been able to hear that for a long time. So Dr. Palmer found a cure for deafness. No, Dr. Palmer did not find a cure for deafness. Dr. Palmer found a help for Harvey Lillard in his deafness. Today, most of us believe Harvey's sinuses were just backed up. A lot of times when you receive a chiropractic adjustment, it's not weird for your nose and sinuses to start draining right away. So that's my personal belief, is that Dr. Palmer actually opened up his sinuses. So yeah, it happened right in Davenport, Iowa. Dr. D.D. Palmer came along and did the adjustment, and he was able to help Harvey Lillard get his hearing back. Now, the fun thing after that is his son came along, B.J. Palmer, the next Dr. Palmer, and he's the one that, even though D.D. Palmer got the chiropractic school started, this chiropractic school right here, B.J. Palmer is the one that really took it and ran with it. He's the one that opened up the B.J. Research Clinic. He's the one that really got a hold of the x-ray machines and started to be able to validate some of the work they were doing. Basically, what was happening is they would adjust a vertebrae, they'd record what would happen, and they noticed that when they would adjust that vertebrae, they would get after a while, you keep adjusting the T6 vertebrae on all these different people, and the same thing happens when you adjust the T6, which is different than when you adjust, say, like the C1. And so they started noticing that they were getting differences in this. This is also the time when they started coming up with different techniques, different ways to adjust the spine efficiently. And Dr. Palmer at the time wanted to make sure that this was actually working, and he wanted to get as much science behind it as he could, and that's why he was the first one to bring a x-ray machine over the Mississippi River. He wanted to be able to start showing, these are your x-rays before the care, these are your x-rays after the care, and this is how we helped you. So right there is where the school is. The Davenport, Iowa is right where Palmer College of Chiropractic is, the original campus. There's other campuses now, but the original school is right there. And that's where, in Davenport, Iowa, that's where I went to school, that's where my dad went to school, and that's where my grandfather went to school. So that's a pretty special place to us. As a matter of fact, I'll be there the rest of this week after Wednesday for homecoming myself, participating in homecoming. So ask the chiropractor, how did chiropractic start? It started over hearing loss. So, and then B.J. Palmer, the son, came along and he took his dad's work and he ran with it. As a third generation chiropractor, I always like to remind people that historically in chiropractic families, the next generation is always a little smarter. As a third generation chiropractor, I like to make sure people know that. No, it's just for fun. But B.J. Palmer is the one that got the school up and running now. His dad, David Palmer came along. He was the third Dr. Palmer, and he's the one that really helped with other alumni getting like student loans figured out, accreditation figured out. In the 1960s, Medicare was proven to help pay for chiropractic and stuff like that, to help legitimize what chiropractors do. So that's kind of how the whole profession kind of got started and what we do. Today, when you go to Palmer College, it's a big school right in the middle of Davenport. It's not a 3rd and Brady anymore. It's a little further up the hill. But you go right to the campus. It's a beautiful campus. They have gyms. They're going to open up dormitories this upcoming fall. And we have state-of-the-art research centers now, state-of-the-art clinic. I mean, the clinic itself is pretty cool because the chiropractors that work with the U.S. Olympic team work there also. So the sports injury and the rehabilitation through chiropractic care clinic is top of the line, state of the art. Myself, over the last 20 years, I've injured my arms and other things, and I've made myself an appointment there to go get evaluated and get care. It's worked out really, really well. One of the perks of only being an hour and 40 minutes away from Davenport, I get to go sneak there from time to time and go see the teachers that taught me to help me get better, right? And work with them with patients. I've even, with Palmer College, it's because the clinic is so awesome, I've been able to take x-rays from my clinic and take them there and have the doctors there look at them with me to get another opinions, to get more evaluations on stuff that I see in the x-rays, like when somebody grows different. I didn't ask a medical doctor if I can take care of them. I went to the chiropractic college and I asked the chiropractors there, how do you take care of somebody with a spine with the natural born deformities on the spine? Is it still safe to take care of them? And it was really cool to sit there with the professors and who have seen it before and actually get the correct answer. So that's kind of what we do here at Palmer, at this clinic in Palmer College. It's this, like I said, this is the big week. This is homecoming week, and this is coming up on the anniversary of the first ever chiropractic adjustment. Again, it was given for somebody who lost his hearing, got adjusted and his hearing restored, which I think is pretty cool. Again, like the next guy came in, he was deaf, got adjusted somewhere else, his blood pressure went down. Next guy came in, was deaf, he got adjusted somewhere else, his heartburn went away, and that's kind of when they really knew they were onto something. Not so much about the spine. It was never started off being about back pain and neck pain. It started off all about how to improve the nerve flow and how to decrease the nerve stress in order for the body parts to heal right and grow right and do right. So that's kind of chiropractic and how we take care of people. If you have a question for Ask the Chiropractor, make sure you find us online. Go to Rockford, DC, ROCKFORD, DC.com. You can find the blog there. If you find the blog, you'll find all these old posts. You can also contact us there, and if you contact us, I'll get back to you. If you're listening to this right now, the website's there. If you want to actually see what I look like, you can go there and watch the videos. YouTube, Facebook, all that stuff. You can find us anywhere. Other than that, stay healthy, stay strong, and I think next week for Ask the Chiropractor might be something special because I will be on the campus. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.